favorite time of my hunting career in all these years was when I had 3 boys and I could take them hunting. When they got older and started hunting on their own, I found myself really missing those times when I could hunt with a kid. Kalee Long, she is a girl that's going to steal your heart because she stole mine, and the opportunity to hunt with her was a true blessing. And to finish the show, we're going to get to hunt with my 12-year-old grandson. He's my oldest grandson. I'm very proud of him, and he's dead serious when he's hunting. I think you're going to enjoy this show because it made my day.
The reason I love to hunt is because I get to be in the woods, surrounded by nature.
The Novillos this year was tough. It was hot and it was green, and that's the 2 worst things you can have when you're hunting here.
I know most people might not think hunting is a sport, but hunting is a sport. Hunting is who I am.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents
Last spring, I happened to be in Alabama in time to go to the Birmingham SCI banquet. They had a special honor for a young lady that was handicapped that had gone on a hunt that they had put together in New Mexico for an elk. After the banquet, I walked up to her and was going to tell her congratulations. And I asked her if she would be interested in coming and being on BCM and hunting a deer at the Novillos Ranch.
When Mr. Lamar asked me to come to the Novillos Ranch, I was really excited.
Hello, Miss Kalee.
I finally made it!
Welcome to the Novillos, darling. Howdy, ma'am. How are you?
Mr. Lamar was awesome. He just opened up the door and he just hugged me and we just greeted, and you know, he just welcomed me with open arms, and I'll never forget that.
Okay, what we're going to do is I need to see how Kalee pulls the trigger because we're both going to be looking through that iPhone scope. It's just something that's totally new for me, and I'm going to be helping her, and so I'm learning just as much. She's going to teach me as much as I hope I teach her this week. So the way she aims is a special mount that goes on, on the back end of the scope, and it's got an iPhone. For this hunt, Kalee was going to be using Jackie Scoggins' McWhorter 6.5 Weatherby. There you go. Let's see. It wasn't too bad, was it?
Wasn't too bad. I was just ready to get the job done.
All right, Miss Kalee, afternoon hunt. It's still summer weather. Have you noticed?
I've noticed.
Well, we had a little front come in this afternoon. I think it's going to be a lot better in the morning, but we can't kill one sitting in here. It was a tough year for the Novillos. We struggled a little bit because of weather. It was just so green and so hot.
Smashing day, let's get carried away. We've got one another, and that's the way it goes. Smashing day, lead the rain away, 'cause I'm thirsty and I want it.
I think we ought to go back over to Dylan's blind and see if that 10-pointer's there that we got a little sneak peek at late yesterday afternoon. first few hunts were a little tough to try to get, an animal to stay long enough in one position. We had some challenges. We had some opportunities, but due to the time that it took her to get on a deer,
ended up being a lot tougher than we anticipated.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, the most accurate hunting rifles in the world. Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. Safari Club International Foundation, first for wildlife. Hoff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, over 50 years in Central Texas, and we couldn't have stuck around this long if we were steering you wrong. Chupacabra Rub, shake it, rub it, love it. And Surge Pro, the best yield-enhancing foliar fertilizer on the market. Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue. Swarovski Optique, see the unseen. Burger Bullets, shoot better, shoot burger. Hart Rifle Barrels, unparalleled performance, handcrafted one at a time. And John Burrell's High Adventure Company, the finest collection of big game wing shooting and sport fishing destinations in the world.
third day there was a little bit of a highlight. We tried to get on a very nice buck. He was a mature deer, upper end management, just chocolate horns, good size, and Kalee just could not believe that I told her she could shoot this deer. But due to the challenges of us trying to get on the deer and the deer not cooperating, he slipped away. But that was a deer that we were going to target for the rest of the hunt. Fourth day rolls around and it's tough. It's just not happening. The weather's not cooperating. And about the time that, maybe I'm getting a little worried about whether this is going to happen because it's the last hunt. I look up and at about 110 yards, this deer steps out. But once the deer steps out and I realize it's him, we start scrambling to get in position. I finally decide that I'm going to basically get behind Kalee and I'm going to wrap my arms around her, let her fall into my chest, and give her a little more stability. It's got to happen now or it's not going to happen.
Just squeeze until the very big.
To say you had to be there was an understatement. To be there was just something I'll never, never, never forget.
I was so excited. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
When that deer fell, she went ballistic. She was squealing, she was hugging me, she was kept asking me, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" It couldn't have been any better.
Atta girl. That is awesome. Awesome. So proud of you. So proud of you. Yeah. All right, let's go see.
I'm never going to forget it. This girl's in my heart and she ain't ever leaving.
Look at the size of that thing. He's going to be a good 10-pointer, I bet you. The right side's got 5. I'm going to tell you something. We have had a hard 5 days. We've worked our tail off. A couple of little problems with the bucks. They weren't moving. It was bad weather. And I was learning how to deal with your unique shooting style with that iPhone. And I couldn't be prouder. I'm so happy to be a part of this. And I'm going to tell you something. You have inspired me.
Thank you.
And another thing, Barber's Custom Wildlife Taxidermy is going to mount this deer for you free.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you couldn't ask for a better mount to put on your wall to take back from Texas, all the way from Novillos. And it's just awesome. Thank you very much for letting me be a part of it.
You're welcome.
You got a special place in my heart and you're going to be there for a long time, okay?
You're welcome.
All right. That's great.
There's no better way to wrap up a successful hunt. That's right, it's Rudy's night. This segment of BCM was brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. 100% Hill Country Oak Smoked Barbecue delivered anywhere in the country through Rudy's Anywhere. Order online today. Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Big and J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong. The range is super long. Revolution Safe Company, inspired by Pendleton. Rotating gun management made simple. Borden Accuracy, makers of the Rimrock, Alpine, and Timberline custom actions. Swagger, the bipod with moves. And New Breed Archery. No hype, just hunt.
Later in the season, I had the opportunity to hunt with my oldest grandson.
It's hot. Once again, South Texas rut's going on, but we're at the Novillos. And we got a little something special this week. This is my grandson, Parker. First time on the show. He's 12 years old and he's an awesome kid, and we're gonna go see if we can't get a buck here at the Novillos. And, I think we're gonna slip off to the hog blind. It's one of the best blinds we have here, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I think we can get this done, and if we do, it's going to be a pretty proud pop here.
There's a deer going out to the right.
Yes, sir. 2-year-old waiting for me.
It'll be a good looking deer.
I think he will be. He's going to have to gain a lot, though. This morning was a little uneventful. We had some fog and had a decent weather, even as warm as it is, but all we saw was some young 8s, a 10-point that was still young but had his right side broke off. Tried to get set up on some coyotes.
As soon as you put the gun up, they're going.
The boys trying to kill something, so we're gonna go back and take a little break. The deer we haven't seen one in 30 minutes, so maybe go to the range and see if we can shoot a couple of targets out there 500 yards. Ready?
I'm ready. Let's
go.
do it.
For this hunt, Parker's going to be using my McQuarter 7mm STW. It's got a brand new X5 Swarovski 5 to 25 by 56. It's going to be shooting 180 grain Berger VLD bullets. Now that sounds like a lot of gun for a 12-year-old, but McQuarter puts this muzzle brake on the end that is phenomenal. It just very little recoil. Kids can shoot these rifles just like we do. After that range segment, I told Russell, I said, it's in the boy's blood. He can shoot.
I like the STW.
You like the STW? Me too. All right, I guess we're good. The Novillos this year was tough. It was hot and it was green, and that's the two worst things you can have when you're hunting there. It's still hot. We're gonna call these a sauna box instead of a deer blind. 6 in the morning, it's supposed to change, so we can't shoot them, can't kill them before they're alive, so. The deer we were going after was at Dillon's blind, a mature buck that was gonna be the biggest deer Parker had ever killed. He was a nice, mature, chocolate horn. It's gonna be the biggest deer Parker had ever killed before. It's kind of slow. We're seeing a few deer, but nothing that we're gonna shoot, and it's not the deer we're after. And I look down to the right, and he steps out. And by the time we get him within range, Russell, the cameraman, looks at me and says, "Lamar, we don't have enough light." You tell a 12-year-old that has his biggest buck he's ever seen in the road out there and say, "No, you can't shoot him." Welcome to BCM. All right, Parker. The best morning yet. What do you say we get this thing done instead of piddling around like you've been doing?
You?
Me? Let's go.
We're gonna do it.
So next morning rolls around and we go back to Dillon's blind. Now Parker had been really disappointed because we ran out of light, but the boy understood. And darn if the deer doesn't come out again. He's coming out, he's about to get in position, and then for some reason, he just decides to leave, walks into the brush.
Today we're going to talk about an effective way to sight in your rifle.
We've all been to the local shooting range a couple days or before deer season and seen the guy that's sitting out there, bang, 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 shoot 2 boxes of ammo, still leaves frustrated, hadn't got a perfect 0. Well, today we're going to show you a way in 3 or 4 shots that you can get a perfect 0 and be ready for opening day.
It all starts with, you need a paper target, you need a sturdy rest, and you will go somewhere with a solid bench that you can shoot off of. First thing you do is take out your bolt. Move your target out about 25 yards, set it up. And what you need to be able to do is get behind the rifle so you can look through the action down the bore and line it up with the center of that bullseye. Then you're going to move the windage and elevation turrets so you can line up that crosshair in the center of that bullseye as well. Make your first shot. And so, you know, it'll be close, it'll be within the vicinity. Your second shot and how you set that up is very key. What you want to do is then get down behind the rifle, and you're going to hold it completely still and hold your crosshair exactly on the center of the bullseye where you shot the first time. Not moving the rifle at all. Either you or a buddy can move the windage and elevation turrets to that crosshair lines up with exactly where you hit in that first shot.
That's right. That'll put you very close on your next shot, which will be at 100.
Every shot after that point is going to be fine adjustments on your windage and elevation turrets.
Right.
And you'll be ready to go.
And you've saved a lot of money, and a lot of time, and a lot of frustration.
Absolutely.
And that's our on-target tip of the week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
The hunt was going to continue, but it was going to have to change. Walker was going to guide Parker, his son, on BCM and be the cameraman. It was going to be challenging, but if anybody could do it, those two could. They were dependent on this buck to come back out, and I don't know if Parker was going to be able to take a no for the 3rd time. I think he was going to be pretty quick on that trigger.
So we're back in Dylan's blind after we saw that nice 10 point that I'm looking for. I hope he gives us a shot at him, so let's see how this morning goes.
The deer finally stepped out. In a different Sandera, it was straight away, so it was going to be really easy for Parker to get on that gun. He had a good solid rest. It was a little bit of a distance, but I know Parker's ability, and with that McWhorter in his hand, that deer was fixing to die. Now, I wasn't there, but I can only imagine the elation that young man had.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Oh, yes.
Here, buddy. Good job. I'm proud of you. Took your time. Made a good shot on him. Once he got blindside.
Oh, because when I first saw him, he walked straight in.
Yeah.
And this time I got so scared because he was so close to going in. And I was like, no, it's gonna happen again. But it didn't. I got yes.
Well, I think I made you wait long enough. You ready to go take a look at him?
Let's go see him.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, go to the truck this time. Big old buck. I'm a little nervous.
Big old heavy horn chocolate deer. Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that point right there next to it.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Oh, he got a crab claw coming out. Dang. He had a little one here.
Yeah, he's been doing some fighting, broke off that G4. Looks like he had another point right in here too. He broke that off.
I never thought he was gonna come out. I got a little nervous.
Proud of you, man. Well, we let Pop know in the blind that we got him
coming.
down.
Let's get him
We'll
here.
give him a call and see if we can't get him over here to take a look at him.
Looks bigger than
I know.
what we saw him the other day. Ah, Parker. That is awesome.
at that. Look at the character he's got.
Well, the job got done. The deer's on the ground, but it took 3 generations of Smiths to get it done. I couldn't be more prouder of my oldest son and my oldest grandson. They did an excellent job. I'd also like to thank Jackie Scoggins and the Novillos Ranch. It's a very kid-friendly place, very family-oriented. If you ever want to come to South Texas, give them a call. They'd take you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackie, for letting me come hunt at the Novillos Ranch. It was an unforgettable experience.
That was my favorite hunt of the year. I love to take those kids hunting. Until next week, always remember, keep God and family first.